say the most dangerous man in the room is the man who has nothing to lose, right? That's the saying. You got nothing to lose. You can be an incredibly dangerous individual. At the risk of resenting at the risk of you resenting me today, I'm going to share some stuff that is going to sound absolutely unbelievable, and when you hear it, you may not like it. You guys remember Plato's analogy of the cave? Everybody is trapped with their back to the entrance of the tunnel, and they see the wall, and the people who have them enslaved basically are holding silhouette items on the wall and moving it back and forth. And so these people who are trapped in the cave think that that is reality. But one of the people escapes, and he sees what the real world is like. And it's all color and life and real stuff. And he goes back in to tell the people in the cave, what you're seeing isn't real, it's just a shadow. And what did they do to him if you read the story? They killed him. Here's what you won't like. Here's what you won't believe. Prisoners in concentration camps have experienced more freedom than you. How could that be? How could someone trapped in a concentration camp have more freedom than me? We have freedom of speech. And thanks to Matt, we have guns. The Saturday Night Live skit. What should we make the Second Amendment? Guns. Well, we have confused freedom. You guys could look it up later, or while I'm preaching, it won't hurt my feelings. We've confused being unrestrained with freedom. We think being unrestrained is where real freedom is, but it's not being unrestrained, it's being unfazed. Okay? We have confused freedom with unlimited choices. All that I could ever want, all that I could ever choose, right? Actual freedom is self-control. Not being free to do whatever you want, but knowing how to control yourself. And not only have we confused freedom with unlimited choices, we've lost the idea that sometimes we are enslaved to the choices. All right, history time. Ready? Pop quiz. Declaration of Independence. Who wrote it? Mostly.
Thomas Jefferson?
Thank you. Yes, Michael is right. Thomas Jefferson. How many years did he write it before our nation was actually free from Britain? 5 years. Who can recite parts of the Declaration of Independence? Gunnar, I'll help you out. Your uncle's put you on the hot box there, but I'll help you out. There's a lot in the Declaration of Independence, but I happen to like this part in the second paragraph. We hold these truths to be self-evident. I don't have to defend it. It's self-evident. Anybody can see it. All men are created equal. That they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. God above in heaven has given mankind these rights. Among these, right, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We think that that's ultimate freedom, right? To be able to have life, liberty, and pursue happiness. Which is why, ultimately, we mistake freedom with being in control. We believe if I have unlimited choices and I'm in control, I am free. That's not true. I said people in concentration camps experience more freedom than we do. Where did I come up with that idea? If you've ever read Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl, one of his most famous ideas, everything can be taken away from a man but one thing. Now he's reflecting on seeing the best and seeing the worst of people in concentration camps. Everything can be taken away from a man but one thing: the lack of human freedoms to choose one's attitude in any given circumstances, to choose one's own way. They can lock you up. They can remove all your freedoms. Put you in solitary confinement. Give you bread and water, whatever comes to your mind. But the ultimate freedom is choosing your attitude. Choosing how you will see it. Choosing how you will, very importantly, respond. There's a big difference between responding and reacting. That's ultimate freedom. That's powerful freedom. We think freedom is going to Golden Corral or Main Garden or any all-you-can-eat buffet place that comes to your mind. I saw the meme the other day. Ryan's would still be in business if Grandma didn't lie about your age. They have an age bracket where it's less expensive than younger kids. Grandma lied and put the whole industry out of business. Nancy, something you want to confess? We can have the altar call now.
That's really wicked this morning.
Well, you didn't spank him enough. We think freedom is being able to go and eat anything I want, all I want, wherever I want. And freedom is self-control. Real freedom isn't unlimited choices. It's being able to be in self-control. Now, when the Bible was written, it was in a completely different time than what we live in now. Jesus tells the Jewish people, if the Son sets you free, you're free indeed. Jesus said to the Jews who believed him, if you abide, remain, stay in place, in my word, you're truly my disciples. And you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. They answered him. They're all upset now. Ha! We're offspring of Abraham and have never been enslaved to anyone. Well, except for Egypt, Babylon, Persia, the Greeks, and now the Romans. But we've never been enslaved to anyone. How is it you say you'll become free? And Jesus answered them, truly, truly, verily, verily. In the Greek it's amen, amen. I say to you, everyone who practices sin is a slave to sin. The slave does not remain in the house forever. Remember, he starts out, if you abide, if you remain. The slave doesn't remain forever, but the Son remains forever. So if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. He's not talking about, now all of a sudden you get to go vote for the candidate of your choice. Now you get to carry a gun. Now you get to burn the flag, whatever. Freedoms that we think we have. No. There was an ultimate freedom. Paul will say in 2 Corinthians 13, now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is what? Freedom. And we all, with unveiled faces, behold the glory of the Lord, are being transformed into the same image from one degree of glory to another. This comes from the Lord who is the Spirit. Now, again, I said the Bible is written in a completely different time. It's a time where there are very ruthless leaders that rule with an iron hand. So surely, there's got to be a clause in the Bible that says, if you have a dictator dominating you, you don't have to respect them. You get to do your own thing, right? Is that not what Peter says in 1 Peter 2? Be subject for the Lord's sake to every human institution, whether it be to the emperor as supreme, governors who are sent by him to punish those who do evil, praise those who do good. For this is the will of God, that by doing good you should put to silence the ignorance of foolish people. Live as people who are free, not using your freedom as a cover-up for evil, but living as servants of God. Honor everyone. Love the brotherhood. Fear God. Honor the what? Emperor. Nero's the emperor at that time. Just Google emperor and his man-husband Sporus. Read from Suetonius' 12 Caesars if you want to see just how crazy Nero was. Honor the emperor. There is freedom that's not bound by geopolitical. It's not bound by government. It's not bound by circumstance. It's not bound. Again, written before Jefferson pens the Declaration of Independence. Written before democratic process of voting and electing the candidate of your choice. Do you love America? I do. I love our country. I think there's a reason why people from all across the world want to come and live here. I think we're a blessed nation. I'm patriotic. I love what we have. But Jesus, Paul, Peter, they're talking about a freedom that predates our beautiful nation and will be around long after nations rise and fall. Authentic freedom. The ability to avoid manipulation, to not be manipulated, right? To resist being leveraged. Someone has power, someone can leverage you in the direction they want. It's like freedom to, the old saying, walk away from the negotiating table. I don't know what they're saying. That's real freedom. Unrestrained, unrestricted action is not freedom. It's being unfazed by the circumstances and the criticisms that we receive. That's true liberation. To not worry about the circumstances or what people say about you or to you. We mistakenly assume that freedom is the ability to impress people, right? To appear like we've lived the American dream. I love America. Be successful, be whatever. But actual freedom is this. Being able to be indifferent to the opinions of others and to remain true to yourself in a cancel culture environment. Be able to stand up and say what you think. For years, everyone's been afraid to say what they think on Facebook. Most people. Either way, on either side of the topic, because they don't want people to resent them and reject them. You keep your opinions to yourself. If we give up our power and allow people to silence us or immobilize us based on our beliefs or opinions, we're not really free. Politics, lightning rod issue, right? People are afraid to say it. Transgender athletes competing. No, we can't talk about this, right? Immigration, our nation's involvement in foreign wars. Whatever way you stand on those, you're free to have your opinion. And in a democracy, that's where people grow and learn, by exchanging different views. But if you can't say what you really think, it has nothing to do with freedom of speech given by the government. If you're not going to say what you think because of other people, then you're not really experiencing freedom, are you? And I'm not saying go out there and stir the pot and try to aggravate people. Leave that to people like me. But you know what I'm saying? If you can't say what you really think, are you really free? But to stick to your convictions without the fear of repercussions. Right? I'm going to stick to my convictions. I'm going to care less about their response, their reaction, their rejection. Maybe it makes them mad. Like Dolph Lundgren, what did he say in Rocky? If he dies, he dies. Right? Yeah. If they get mad, they get mad. If they reject you, they reject you. That's where real freedom is. Right? To stick to your convictions without the fear. Biblical freedom, and I'll wrap up with this. Biblical freedom is about deliverance. Deliverance from the shackles of legalism. That's Jesus' big beef with the people on the scene. They think their ability to follow every rule, that was what religion was all about. Right? So freedom from the shackles of legalism. Freedom from superstition. You remember that passage in the Bible, God helps those who help themselves? It's not in the Bible. Everyone thinks it is. It's actually, I think, one of Asaph's favorites. It's Greek mythology. Farmer's got his wagon stuck in the ditch and cries out for help, and one of the Greek gods says, "Well, the gods help those who help themselves. Get your own wagon out of the ditch." Right? So freedom from the shackles of legalism, freedom from the shackles of superstition, and freedom from self-destruction. So in today's cancel culture, tolerant, relativistic society, a biblically free person is truly a dangerous person. And so I encourage you to be more dangerous. Let's stand and sing.